welcome to another episode of Peaked. My name's Frank, my amazing co-host JP Noda.
What's up?
Today's guest is one of my favorites, co-creative Roast Battle, the homie, the love of my life. Nice round of applause for the real Brian Moses.
The real.
R-E-A-L.
REAL.
Welcome. All right. Before we get into the whole casual conversation, you know what it is. The guy who fucking... it feels great to have you here on the episode because I get to get you absolutely blasted. Like, you used to get me super stoned when I would go to Eric Marino's house, and you would make me do gravity bong hits. And I think I was in my mid-20s, and I would just pass out on his couch.
Yeah, it was like we treated you like an 80s or a 90s like college freshman.
Yeah, you really did. I think one of my birthdays, I ended up getting drunk and passing out on his couch with my shirt open.
Yeah, you were drinking 151.
Yeah, yep. They used to make me take shots of 151 as a new door guy.
Yeah, you started that tradition. Though we were telling you that it was like an old tradition, but no, you started that.
Oh, did I bring it back? Oh, I
You
just
didn't bring it back.
No, you were the one.
I wanted approval so badly when it was. Oh, you could tell I never went to a fraternity because I fucking was just like anything. I was like, I'll do it. I was
projectile vomiting. You know, like his first night working or
Yep.
something. It was gnarly. It was
My
fun.
wife came and picked me up. It was pretty.
Girlfriend at the time. Yeah,
God,
roommate
yeah,
even.
yeah, God, it was everything I wanted it to be. Well, this is the Wizard. It's the proxy attachment.
The Grand Wizard.
Yeah, yeah. What did we have loaded up?
That was the grape gazungas. You know, you brought that one by. It's the only thing I could find was gazungas, which is a it makes me laugh every time. It's a rainbow chip and Skittles cross. It's very candy forward, but the grape actually does have that very classic kind of like candy grape flavor as well. Really good.
So why is it called Gazunga?
I'm not sure actually. Gazungas with like GAZ, like gas almost.
Okay.
But yeah, it's because it's two Skittles strains.
The names are always so fun. To
Well,
Why
you
is this
always
called
bring the
Wizard,
most
though?
wild shit too.
yeah. Huh?
Why is this called Wizard?
Oh, so it just because it looks like a Gandalf pipe, like a wizard pipe, and then that's the new proxy vaporizer. Yeah.
God. Is this meth?
I
I
mean,
think I got the wrong pipe.
It's much tastier.
yeah.
This is really good.
No,
Yeah.
it's bitter.
But you didn't really dab as much. You were mostly just flour.
Yeah, I'm an old school guy, but then hanging out with like you new wave potheads, you guys are all about this shit. So it's all wax and whatever it is. Yeah, some kind of mucus I'm smoking.
Yeah, hash and rosin and such. Yeah.
Hash and rosin. Yeah. When did rosin get into the game? I know hash was always the thing, but
Like 2010s or so, like, is when I remember seeing like the articles. I'm sure it was around before. I'm sure people like old heads up in the mountain were like, look at this shit.
yeah.
But the first time I remember seeing it was like a High Times article where they talked about squeezing flour with a hair straightener and making rosin. Like you put it between a parchment paper and then you literally like scrape off the resin that would come off, and that would be your flour rosin. And then it eventually became pressing hash. And now they have full rosin presses that are all like temperature controlled and everything, so you
Yeah.
get just a higher quality product.
What is the new thing that's sweeping the nation? Piatella? What is it called?
Fentanyl. It's really good.
I don't even know.
What's it called? Jimmy Devine was talking about it. It's like Piatella. Everyone's been posting about it. It's some European way I think they make hash. Is that what it is?
You
I don't
pee
know.
on it first?
No.
Be very European. Is it underage?
No.
Is that what it is? Very
I mean, it is cured very young. But it is.
It's having a war with Russia?
Uh,
It's European.
people are going crazy about it. I know Jimmy had written about it and stuff, but I guess it's like another either processing method or a just a type.
I'll check it out after
Yeah.
this.
The Grand Wizard.
So we got to go to Austin. How did you like it?
I'm wearing this hat now. Shit, it's almost slave catcher. No, Austin's cool now. It has like New York Comedy Club energy because there's like 3 or 4 clubs on the same street, and then because of that, you can have like little independent shows, like little bars on the same street. So it really feels like a New York comedy club scene, even though it's in like this, like the deep south.
Yeah, it felt that way. It was crazy to be able to go to like different spots. I mean, I think one night I did 4 spots, another night it was 3. There's only one night the whole time I was there I didn't do spots. So it was just crazy to see it be that busy.
And is it like that for you out here in Los Angeles?
No, God, no, it is not. That was the thing me and my wife were talking about, how it's, LA, it feels like we have to wait for spots. But LA's always been a very showcasey place.
It's not. I mean, it's really showing its ass right now, Los Angeles. It's like it's showing you like we've never really been a stand-up town. This has always been for the love of the game. If you were into stand-up,
Yeah.
But if you like, making money and working on your craft for money, then Austin or New York or maybe even Chicago might be your jam. But Los Angeles, you're just doing it for the love of the game, and hopefully the strike doesn't make you go bankrupt from acting and writing.
Yeah, and that's also the crazy. Like, I never got into the Writers Guild, so it's so funny to like. I've had friends who like got
You're gonna
in.
have to sneak over.
I've had friends who've gotten in, and then literally the strike has happened, and then they're like, "Well, fuck."
Yeah, this is your time, actually. I think this is a good thing. Like, if you've never been in the guild or you're trying to get into the guild, this is the time to, like, write a sample script or, get into a writing program or, just, like, hone your craft right now. Like, during the pandemic, people went back to community colleges or colleges. People went to acting classes. I remember after, like, I got, like, my big checks from Roast Battle, like, it took me a few years, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to hit some acting classes. And then I did, and then the pandemic happened, and then, we stopped auditioning. So it was a waste of money.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten anything close that you were like, "Oh my god"?
I think I had like a Trick or something like that. We're talking about STDs.
No. Yeah.
Trick one time. No, I'm kidding. No STDs. Ladies, fellas, non-binary people, anybody who's into it. No, I think the closest thing I got to was was like a callback for a Marvel thing.
Oh, that's.
But I can't talk about it because it's NDA. But we're here now, so fuck you, Marvel. DC, hit me up. I got this hat on.
Has it ever? Whenever that happens, do you ever like see the thing and you're like, "Oh, that could have been," and do you just ignore it or do you watch it?
So they tell you in acting class to not have those bad thoughts of like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to get this, because I would always have those, right? Because
Yeah.
I think, like when everybody moves to Los Angeles or New York and they're trying to be an actor, they see like templates of themselves in these audition lines, right? Like you'll see like 10 Frank Castillos,
Yeah, yeah.
and at least like 8 of them are better looking than you.
Yeah, and you're
right?
like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, in my case, it's always like 4 or 5 guys who look better than me. I'm just like, I'm not going to get this. And like Bill Bellamy's there. I'm just like, I'm not going to get this. So you always have those thoughts, but they tell you not to have those because those are called bad actor thoughts, bats. So you would have good actor thoughts, gats, right? So you go in there thinking like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. And when you do the audition, you just forget about it and never think about it again. So when you ask me about it, I'm just like, I have to go back in my memory bank of things I forgot about that I didn't get and remember like what I didn't get. So thanks, Frank.
You're welcome.
That was PTSD you just gave me.
Every time I watch Lopez and Lopez, I'm just like, I could have been his
A
best
Lopez.
friend. Yeah, I could have been a Lopez.
But you're not Jesus Trejo or I don't know,
Francisco.
Ramsey
fucking-
Badawi
yeah,
or
yeah.
one of the other.
Wait, could Ramsey play Mexican?
I think Middle Eastern guys and South American guys can play any type of Mexican.
I think it does bug me that I'll never be able to play a white supremacist. You know what I mean? Like to really be able to go into
I don't
character.
know.
You know?
I don't know. I think you have to stay in the house,
Yeah.
shave all the body hair off of you.
Uh-huh.
I think you'd be good because you look like really pale.
You ever watch? What was the movie? There's American Me and then Blood In, Blood Out. There was the guy who was in Mortal Kombat who was like an Asian guy, and he played like a Mexican gang member in that. And I always thought that was the funniest thing.
You ever see Harsh Times?
Yes, that was great.
Yeah, where like Christian Bale's playing like a cholo.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
All right, something
Like Shia LaBeouf was able to pull it off. Did you see that?
You got
Really?
the full fucking tattoo.
Yeah, he got
bro.
the full chest tattoo. But
Well,
also,
was he really scary though, like a cholo?
yeah, he kind of was. And I remember it was like a big thing. Everyone got really upset. Then like cholos everywhere were like, he's fine. I think even Food's Gone Wild made a comment about it, like co-signing him because his socks were all up and everything, and they're like, yeah, it's a good pass.
So just Cortez's and rolled up and just high socks and
No, yeah, he had
and
glasses.
Dickie khakis.
Yeah.
Really on glasses? Oh, the Lokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was funny because I remember watching the movie and being like, well, it was such a smaller part that I was like, he didn't have to go that deep into it. You know what I mean? But I appreciate
But
it.
you were scared.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
I can't even get there.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Interesting. What's the most? I would say. I was gonna guess what that cancel word they're talking about. What's like the most stereotypical thing you've done?
The most stereotypical thing I've
Like
done?
regarding your ethnicity.
Probably Comedy Central, and they had me come in for Cinco de Mayo, and I had to like do a video. And I remember like I shaved my beard all super Mexican-y because I was like, whatever. Yeah.
Man, super Mexican.
It was fucking Pancho Villa to the fucking T-Dog. It was like, and I remember watching it and being like, I'm not too proud of this.
But you did it.
Yeah.
Why'd you do it though if you weren't gonna be too proud of it?
Well, because I think I was like, I should have looked at myself. Well, because it was one of those, I don't want to be like, oh, it was a Dave Chappelle moment, but it was like where you look around and you're like, oh, I'm like the only other Mexican here that's like co-signing this.
But it was Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, it
You didn't
was.
think like this was gonna be like something weird?
Yeah.
What
yeah.
year was this?
God, it was like the year after Roast Battle.
So 2018 maybe.
Yeah, it was the day. I remember.
So
it was
not that long ago.
I remember when the lady looked at me and I was like, "Oh, is this gonna be on?" Like, I was like, "What is this gonna be on?" She goes, "Our Snapchat. We get more views on our Snapchat than we do the TV shows."
Right.
And I remember being like, "That's not a good thing to say.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say that out loud."
I mean, in hindsight, she's right. I mean, like all those apps now get more
Yeah.
views than linear.
Yeah.
Or broadcast television. Sorry.
Yeah, they fired like everybody. I remember that.
Yeah, they
Remember-
don't need them anymore.
they
They're not
were-
going to need us anymore soon.
Oh God, no, not with ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, AI, yeah. As soon as they figure out hands for AI, it's over for porn.
Yeah, I remember they were paying. God, what was that geeky comics name? They were playing Wardell.
Mm-hmm.
The Brandon Wardell was getting paid to just be like the young guy at
Yeah.
Comedy Central and explain to them what like the next stuff was. It was so funny.
I mean, that was Pete Davidson on SNL, too. He was like the
Yeah.
young guy. They were like, well, what's happening with like 20-year-olds, Pete, who've
Yeah.
been through 9/11? He's like, I don't know, man. Just follow me around. And they did.
Yeah,
They followed him
it
around.
was a good show.
SNL?
I mean,
Oh, the Brandon Wardell show.
yeah, the Brandon Wardell show.
Brandon's
mean,
cool. He's fun.
he-
He's a fun guy.
He really remember when he took down fucking God, Matt Rife.
I mean, did he take him down? Matt Rife is thriving.
Oh,
right
he is thriving now again because the internet forgets apparently. But
now. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
what was that beef about?
I can't
Two
remember.
young guys
Quit this one. I got
upset about being young and desired by older women.
Yeah, he did date
They
Kate
both are.
Beckinsale for a little bit.
Yeah. And Brandon is the object of every online adult male. He's a very handsome, non-binary young man.
Hilarious. Do you think Austin will be number one?
As far as comedy scene,
I think so.
it's got a comedy Disneyland vibe to it because it nothing can really touch it, right? Like you're not getting a lot of acting down there. You're not really getting any TV writing or like film writing down there. I mean, you have a few shows here and there, a few studios here and there, but it's gonna just be all about stand-up, you know. New York can't really say that anymore because they have the Broadway scene, they have all the acting out there. It's really cultured as far as like stage acting and advertising writing or just TV writing or film writing. But with Austin, they can just really focus and hone in on just being stand-up comedians or podcasters. So yeah, I think they're gonna thrive.
Yeah, even just seeing my friends that have moved out there from the time being to now, you're like, oh yeah, the improvement's insane.
Insane. I mean, those guys have, because the lockdown didn't really affect them like it affected the coast, right? Like we had
Yeah.
to kind of shut down and not perform. in
Texas
front of
was
people.
like, all right, yeah, if you believe that. Yeah,
Yeah,
They're like, all right,
yeah,
that's
they,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
whatever.
just kept getting better. Like I watched Asan and Asan Ahmad and Derek Poston, and I'm just like, those guys are, I mean, probably two of the best stand-ups in America right now. They're really, really good at what they do now.
Yeah, it's it's just stage time, man. Stage time and that ethic. And it's like I think going there made me realize that it's like the stage time is just few and far between here in LA.
Yeah, it sucks.
It really does.
Because everything's online now. Like we all dedicated ourselves to moving and being online and living online, and now like even the things we like the arts are online now, and then they're gonna be taken over by computers online. Like your AI is now doing art, it's doing music, it's writing jokes, it's writing films.
What's have they had it done write a film yet?
They will.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You heard that Drake and The Weeknd song?
What was the Drake and the Weeknd song?
I mean, they played some AI with like a Drake voice in The Weeknd. It sounded just like
What?
him.
Jesus, that's terrifying.
It's not a scary time. I mean, like for the most part.
Well, this is why it's terrifying to me, because this is all the shit my mom used to say to me when I was a kid, and I'd be like, "You're crazy," and then now I'm getting older, and she's just like, "Look, everything I said was right," and it's like, well, yeah, sort of, if you know.
Well, it also all started with like those like Facebook ad T-shirts and shit, and then like they were making like children videos on YouTube, like those 30-minute random videos of just the kids watch over and over and over, all like made by computers.
Oh, really?
And that started in like 2013.
Yeah.
And it's just like random, like they take clips from shit. They use like Peppa Pig because it's like an open property or whatever, and then just like do shit with it and like make new shows and stuff. And it's like just all made by computer. And like your Facebook stuff, it all like just goes through like your search algorithm or whatever and makes shirts like, oh, you like Lord of the Rings? Here's a fucking wizard shirt. Like, and that's why people buy that shit.
Oh my God, am I getting red pilled right now? What's going on?
Kind of are, yeah. There's a documentary you should watch. It's called Terminator 2. Judgment Day. It talks about all this.
I rewatched them. I rewatched all the Terminators when I was in Austin.
All of them?
Like, yeah, there's a lot.
I was so bored. There's the one thing about Austin where it was saying how it's like during the day you can actually, it feels like you can live your life, whereas like here it feels like you're always up against the clock.
So you watched the Terminator movies?
Yeah, I had nothing to do, and you can't go outside because you'll fucking fry. You'll just explode in flames. So I just watched all the Terminators.
That's my thing about Austin. Why I wouldn't move there? Because I'm like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Weed's not legal. Black people are barely legal. Like, I don't know what I do in Austin
That was
if I'm not doing stand-up.
That was the crazy thing about the stand-up thing was I remember coming off stage and you know my whole set right now, but it was like being like, oh, they didn't laugh at that one specific joke about me having sex with my white wife, and you were like, yeah, man, it's Austin.
That's I mean, it's crazy. It's like everything else works but that. You're like, but you guys are laughing at these pedophile and school shooting jokes, but you don't like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Clearly you guys are racist, and I didn't know that.
Yeah. But it's like a whole different kind because Austin's still so super liberal.
Like, it's not super liberal.
Not super liberal, but it's like liberal enough for Texas.
See, that's the problem with me too. It's like I get mad at people like giving out participation trophies sometimes or gold stars for just being there. That's my thing about Austin, Texas. It's like, well, it's liberal for Texas. It's like that doesn't mean it's liberal.
Yeah.
It just means it's Texas.
Yeah.
And they don't lynch black people as much anymore. That's what it means.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Every
here?
time I would do that joke, that punchline about being like, it used to be so illegal, they used to kill us over that in places like here. Everyone would just be like,
Yeah. Yeah, you watch that.
they're like,
Shane
we still do.
Gillis-
And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah.
It's still happening.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that you're just like, well, first they're thinking about you taking their jobs.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're thinking about, oh, shit, he's taking our, well, let me see this white wife of yours.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what job you're taking. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I used to have a joke like that about taking white people's jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I would go out with Pauly Shore, and the only time I'd do it, when I did in Texas, it was the only time dudes would heckle me or shout at me.
Wow.
Yeah.
For taking their jobs?
Or just having some kind of response.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm taking their imaginary job.
Yeah, what jobs are you guys taking?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not the fun ones.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of like, I mean, we've heard that for years, like taking our jobs and just like, what jobs do they take back?
Well, Greg Giraldo had the great joke about the Mexican weatherman. You know what I mean? Where he was just like, telling the weather and stuff, and he's like, low visibility, it's a great time to cross the river. Like, it's a great joke. But yeah, it's the same thing. We was never taking like good jobs.
Yeah. And like, yeah, you don't want those jobs.
No.
They don't pay, there's barely any benefits.
My mom used to make me work at my grandmother's orchard in Fallbrook with the other Mexicans.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't speak Spanish though, so.
Ew.
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, they all just thought I was weird.
How come your mom never spoke Spanish to you as a kid?
Oh no, they did. It just never picked up. Well, I was back and forth between everyone, so I just never like picked up on it. I know when I'm getting cussed at.
Because the octaves raised, right?
Yeah, and I know like fat ass and like a bunch of other bad ones.
What is fat ass in Mexican?
I don't know. Gordo
You
ass.
said you
just means
knew.
fat.
I can't remember. I burned it from my. I lied a little bit.
What is lied in Spanish?
Oh shit, mentiroso.
Can we look that up, Jamie? Can we look it up?
Oh, that might have been a slur. I don't know. That's something my grandma. Like something my grandma said a lot.
Is grandma still alive? What's she doing?
No, she's dead. So my dad's mom lived for a very long time, and then I think she had a heart attack, and then they had to like take her leg. Yeah, and then she passed on after that. But they were like, this is how like fucked up my family is. Not sense of humor wise. My dad was saying that all the sisters were talking about it, and they were like, it's kind of good that she died after that because she didn't want to get out of bed anyways with two legs. They couldn't imagine her she with one leg. I was like, dude, not even like a couple seconds and my family's already like,
Yeah.
cracking
They're
fucking
like,
jokes.
we moved on.
Yeah. I think she gave all the money to the Chihuahua she had. That is the other thing I always thought was weird was Mexicans and Chihuahuas. That is like a thing, like, it was always like a joking stereotype. And then I really thought about it and was like, my grandma really loves her Chihuahua. Like, a lot.
What is that? What do you
I
think?
do not know.
JP, are you like real? Are you up on Hispanic culture?
No, you're Spanish.
I'm Cuban.
Cuban?
Chilean,
Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, East Coast. East Coast Mexican. Yeah.
But then I don't know about the whole Chihuahua thing. My family had like Rottweilers
Oh, okay.
and like
Yeah, hell yeah,
pitties.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had like a Dalmatian. Like when I first was a kid, I remember that. That was real fucking weird.
See, this is what I heard about Dalmatians. Like as a kid, because obviously 101 Dalmatians, we hear
Yeah.
about that. But I thought those like the smartest dogs because they work with firefighters and like everybody seems to love them, right? 100
Oh
Dalmatians.
yeah.
But I've heard like they're the dumbest dogs.
Yeah, dude. So it's because they're like purebreds.
Yeah.
Their brain keeps growing, but their skull doesn't, and so their brain literally pushes against to their skull, and so like they become like aggressive towards people that aren't like their owners or people they know or like things they know because they're
cool
because they're like have like head trauma.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just like but they're pretty.
Aren't
Yeah,
like
they're gorgeous. But yeah, they're aggressive
the-
and like dumb dogs.
aren't the most adorable dogs the most like genetically?
Yeah, I got my English bulldog's
Yeah,
fucking dumb,
he's got
dude.
the best English bulldog ever.
Ex my dog.
Oh yeah.
You guys broke up.
Name me the dog.
What happened?
No, my lady.
I was gonna say, I was like,
It's
no.
my ex's dog.
Found me cheating. This French bulldog.
It's a little Frenchie on the side.
Do you have a dog yet, Frank?
No.
Ooh.
When we moved into the new apartment, it was cats only, and the spot was just so nice that I was like, I'll give up the dog. That's why I'm like, Texas, I can have a dog. I can have a whole separate
with dogs,
family.
bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
you could
You know
have
what I mean?
everything except for marijuana out there.
Yeah, that's the only thing is except for marijuana. That's what I told. Like, if marijuana was legal, I'd be fine with being out there more.
If you were white, you'd be fine. And I hate to keep bringing on the race thing, but it's like, it really is that. I hate to say it, but that's the South. It's like, because it's fine for the most part, because I remember, like, every white guy out there's always like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. Even, like, gay dudes will be like, it's fine, it's fine. But then it's like, it just takes one cop who's like, well, I don't like this guy. And they'll just pull you or me over.
See, that's the thing. That's what I kept.
Yeah.
That's literally what I kept telling everybody. And I even had a clip about the Austin thing with Mark, and a bunch of people messaged me being like, "You're blowing it out of proportion. Austin's really cool. It's fine. Don't worry about it." And every guy that messaged me
Was
was
it
like
any
a
black
white
people?
guy.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, and it was just one of those things of like, it was like, oh no, it's like you can't like. All it takes is running into one dude who's like, I'm gonna make it your life terrible for the next.
Because here's the thing, everybody
couple
hear that
years.
from, right, it is like white people, but I never really get to hear, like, you know, I keep hearing black guys keep getting pulled over. Like, even like there's athletes out there who get pulled over for marijuana in their car. Small amounts. Guns in their car. Not that many, right? But then you'll see, like, a bunch of dudes with, like, guns, like, oh, that guy's a true patriot. But a black dude in his car with a gun in Texas, he gets pulled over, like, oh, he didn't have a permit or he didn't have this. And you're like, I thought you guys were all for guns. So that's why I bring up the race thing all the time, because it's like, you guys are being hypocritical, especially in Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is,
like
yeah.
like, I think it's Brian Simpson's joke he has. It's he's like, yeah, only thing because Austin's slogan is keep Austin weird. He's like, the only thing weird about Austin is ain't no black people here. That's very weird. For a major city to have like the only black people either are musicians here or they play for your football team, the college team, by the way. So they're not here very long.
They're in and then they're out.
Yeah, there's turnover rate.
Yeah. I got tamales at the gas station. They were really fucking good.
Yeah, the food out there is crazy.
The food out there is insane. There was actually only one taco spot we went to that was terrible. The barbecue everywhere I thought was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had Whataburger a lot.
Yeah, Whataburger. I can't.
Dr. Pepper milkshake, dog?
That sounds
That'll
fire.
fuck with, yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds real good.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah, dude. And you know what's so disgusting about Texas? And so we get there, and I kept ordering mediums. And we'd get home, and I'd be like, they keep giving me fucking larges. And then we got there, and then I end up finding out that their mediums are our extra larges here. So their larges and their extra larges are like 64 ounces of
The old
Coca-Cola.
super size.
It's crazy, dude.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
I literally,
Diabetes,
I got
the heart disease, the blood
ounces of ice cream, and it was $2.50.
pressure. Damn.
It was so cheap. I got like the triple stack with all cheese and all in the fucking don't tell my wife, and then like the big Dr. Pepper thing, and then like it was like $13. And I was like, this is
Wow.
I love this
It'd be
place.
like $80 in LA.
Yeah. God damn it.
I just paid $50 for 2 smash burgers and some fries
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
Bruh.
They were delicious.
Insane
but
out
still.
here. Yeah, I'm losing my mind about that, JP. Yeah, it was never like that. You walk out the house, it's like $200 out here.
It's crazy, especially when you go to like my wife likes John and Vinny's. You ever been there? It's
John and
literally
Vinny's,
like $20 a plate pasta.
Yeah.
Their fucking kids mac and cheese noodles is $17.
It's It's fire though, right?
It's so good, but it's like it's all Mexicans making it. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
So you should get it cheaper.
Yeah, it's not anything special. You know what I mean?
What is what was the point of that? Hey, you guys know, right? Like, oh yeah, right. Whatever. Yeah. We need to keep these jobs so white people don't take these jobs from us.
Yeah,
That's what they're saying
Just
to
give
you.
me a discount.
Can't hook you up.
All right, what's the last flavor?
The last one.
Oh, wait, what was the last one we just
The one
did?
we just smoked was Donnie Burger. We smoked it before from someone else. These last 2 grams are gonna be from my buddy Arya at Atmos.
Hey.
That one's gonna be Strawberry Surprise, which is a strawberry coffee. When we smoked before was Donnie Burger, so it was that GMO, so it was super funky. Had a little bit of Larry OG in there, so it's got like OG gas as well.
Okay.
This one's going straight back to the sativa, like the nice fruity berry.
I was smoking all day today, and I'm a little higher than I usually am. But I didn't have anything like that in Austin. And your boy was, thank God, that bag of weed saved my life for the week.
Yeah, he does that.
But, you know, it was like the last day, and I didn't have anything else. And it was like it's like the worst not the worst I've ever felt, but you know when you're just like, all right, I gotta find what's around. So I cleaned my grinder, and like I was able to make literally like the pinniest pinner ever. And I was sitting there, and I was just like, all right, now I know why I love California.
You're also an
Couldn't
addict.
imagine, dude.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, no, we're not talking about that.
Like that's not what that told you.
Yeah.
I got it. It's the small. Like at that point, you were like, I have a problem. I should probably I could chill for a few hours till I get back to Los Angeles, but I'm not going to.
No, because then the thoughts start creeping in, and then it gets weird.
Well, it's also, I think you're only gonna stay for a couple days first, so the fact you're like another week, you're like, I didn't bring enough weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have planned for it.
Let's go talk to Tony out there, and he'll get you the.
Yeah, but
Rogan too. You'll be fine.
But I didn't want to like have I didn't have to buy a full eighth and have to like rush to smoke it. That's the thing that's like is always the worst when you're like rushing to finish whatever you have left.
An eighth is like a session.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
That's
2
like a
months at
joint,
this
dog.
point.
Yeah.
Okay, well now I feel like I'm getting teed up on. I think it'll be federally legal before it is legal in Austin. I don't think Austin's ever gonna like legalize it to the
It's
way
not Austin, well, it's Texas. Right?
Texas
Yeah.
might. I don't think Texas will ever legalize it to the way like California is.
Yeah, Texas is a weird one because like 75% of their population lives in like 3 areas, and it's all in that big triangle: Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston. So like it's not even Austin. Like Austin's like the San Antonio area where like people live, basically. And I just think that's so weird because it's like what the second biggest state in the union outside of us and Alaska. And there's like nobody that lives anywhere in that place except for like this 100 or 200 mile radius, basically.
Yeah, it's a little weird. The freeways are all fucked up too because they don't have like state tax or whatever or like income tax. So it's all
shit.
like
Yeah.
it's all just property tax. So all the highways are just terrible. No one can drive really that well. It's like it's
And they all have guns.
Yeah, and they all have guns. And it's the only place I've ever been to where I watched people stop in the middle of a freeway and then try to like merge.
Yeah,
It's
like
fucking terrifying.
I think I was against guns until I went to Texas, and then they were like, yeah, he was like, you got one on you, right? And I was like, no. He's like, well, you good? I got one. By the way, this is like every dude out there I met, and like 1 or 2 ladies had them, but like everybody has them in their car or has them in their house, and like their whole thing is just like, yeah, what the fuck you talking about? I got kids. I'm trying to protect myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
So
From what?
I was talking.
Who's trying to kill you?
So someone was telling me that they have shootings there all the time.
Yeah.
They're just not reported like they are in California, because most of the time the shootings are like, he was on my property, I have my gun. They're like, all right, case closed. And so it's shit like that all the time. Especially in 6th Street, it's like there's shootings on 6th Street all the time because it's mostly like people like being like, he flashed a gun on me and fuck and like a lot of that shit. Where they're like, yep, it's good, and then
Well, it's also they've like declared that it's your amendment right to like you don't even have to have a permit to have a firearm, a pistol. You
Which
can
is
like
crazy,
have
but
one.
then they
You
still
just
like
own
arrest
one.
people for having guns.
yeah.
Fucking Texas.
God, I can't wait to go back. I'm gonna get a big one.
Memorial Day weekend, we're back. We're back at Rogan's Club.
Yeah, that show was phenomenal, dude. That crowds are amazing. That room felt like the main room and the original room combined. And then the other room, Little Boy, feels like the original room and the belly room.
Wild.
It's definitely got original room vibes, like old school original room vibes to me. Like,
Yeah.
like potluck night.
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah. Both shows were phenomenal. Vulcan was fun too.
Logan's cool. It's got that mezzanine level.
Mm-hmm. It's cool to see how big the roast battle league's gotten and all the different people that have like started a pop room. I mean, that's how I got to meet Lucas McCreary through all those kinds of roast battles and like watching all the other cities and then following them and then meeting those comics.
That one's super tasty. It's like almost like almost unripe strawberries, like right there, a little
Yeah.
green, delicious.
Got a candy-like flavor to
And
it.
it's like I don't really like sativas very much, but the strawberries like a very like euphoric but like social. You're good. That I really dig. Yeah.
And strawberries usually sativa.
Yeah, most of
Okay.
the time. Yeah.
Lemon's usually like a an
Also
indica?
sativa usually.
Really? So
Yeah,
any of the
lemon
fruit
terps
flavors?
like depending berry like grape and berry usually more indica leaning. It really just kind of depends on also if there's any crosses in it or anything weird like that. But I know a lot of times like more grape and more like blueberry and stuff is traditionally more indica.
I love it. Real DeGrasse Tyson over here.
Yeah, dog.
A lot of practice.
Real.
It's nice to have someone that knows a lot about weed. Because
Real
also, I
grass
still feel like
rosin.
I feel like an idiot. Are you excited about 420?
It's like I feel like it's actually gonna be like one of the like deader 420s, at least in LA and California. A ton of people are still going to New York. Like last year, New York's like first big one, but it was also like the first time California started seeing a dip in pricing, and a lot of brands are still able to get full price in New York. So a lot of people were trapping all their shit that you sell here, popping up in New York, still getting 50, 60, and 8.
Yeah.
And so that was the biggest thing. That was like the big draw in the beginning. But I think it was also like so much fun that this year they're like, let's run it back.
Yeah,
So people are like leaving the Bay, leaving LA, and all going up to New York.
420
Is
in
it too
California.
expensive?
No, it's just I think it's
they
just
can make
more.
more
Yeah,
money there.
they like started to
Oh,
have like a different culture too. They're starting to have like I think a really cool weed culture. Because I think until recently they used to allow. I think they just overturned it, but like everywhere you could smoke cigarettes, you could smoke weed. So like on the streets and like in your
Wow.
apartment, they were like cool with it. So like there really wasn't. It was like open smoking was a lot more normal. I think they might have reversed that, but
It's
I think
like
everyone's still
decriminalized,
gonna send it. Yeah.
basically. Yeah, that's cool.
I think California is starting to experience the 420 is almost starting to become like a hallmark
Yeah.
kind of thing now.
Well, I saw someone posted some shit the other day. I don't know if it was a meme or not, but it was an Eventbrite post for the 420 at Hippie Hill. And it's like there's an Eventbrite page for it now. It used to be just
Yeah, we're
fucking
making money
pull
off
up
of
and
this?
like, yeah, dude, like it's fucking weird. So I don't know.
Well, it's also
But it is
like-
commercialized. I
I
mean, now
mean,
it's
yeah.
legal. You know, it's one of those things.
I mean, it's when it's like I think when it's like certain things, it seems like it's fine. I don't know. It just feels like a lot of brands start on it now. You know what I mean? Where it was just like, well, you could just start to, you know.
Yeah.
Where it's almost like it does feel very like almost like Valentine's Day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's like people will say promotions, but also this year's like I think the first year in California, like brands really aren't doing that as much because like there's a lot less finance in the game than there was in the beginning. People are starting to like have to pay back investors or do things that they're
I think,
having
like,
issues with.
Certain things. Let me rephrase that. Certain things, it's very much worth it. Like devices and stuff. But like
Always.
weed brands, it's it's a little different. You know? Just because it feels like it's like it feels forced. Or like when I'm looking at my phone and then like Weed Maps pops up and it's like here's 20 imaginary dollars. Something like that.
No, definitely. And it's like all the promos, games and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Same with like any other holiday now too. Though they do it for like Christmas. They get like everyone has Christmas packaging and shit like that.
Oh my
holiday
god,
packaging.
that one hit me
Yeah.
in the fucking face just right now. I can feel it behind
With
my
strawberry
eyes.
terps, dude. Yeah.
Strawberry terps. What kind of terps are in these?
I couldn't tell you the actual names for them.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Like Lucerin or myocopin or whatever they're calling
Yeah,
it now.
there's probably some terpenoline in there.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
maybe some
turpentine.
myrcene. I don't know.
Is there anything you want to plug before we start to get out of here?
Yeah, everybody. In May, we're doing big things for the Roast Battle. May 3rd, San Diego, at La Jolla Comedy Store. May 25th, we're at the Tempe Improv for more Roast Battle. And then we'll be at Rogan's the 28th in Austin.
All right, sounds good. We still have like 15 more minutes. I thought I saw my high ass. I thought I saw him give me the 10-minute light.
He said this would be right in the face. Dude. I gotta go home.
I was like, oh my god, I gotta take a nap. So Hannah made me go to the gym, and I went, and it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Why
Did
is
you-
everyone laughing?
it was
I got
just funny.
high all day. All right.
Yeah, man. Well, it's also you haven't been smoking in weeks.
I
so
also
you're back-
haven't
you're
been
like, yeah,
smoking, so yeah,
like
it
a week
is.
and a half. So now you're like new level high.
Welcome back.
Back to high school high.
God, I'm gonna forget Africa exists again.
Yeah, that's crazy. Forgot Africa. That's like the first continent.
My dad will send me that clip every once in a while.
Love that.
Yeah.
You should. My baby boy. You're so gifted.
He came down. He had a lot of fun. We went and saw the George Perez show. He got to meet. God damn it! Wow, fuck. Not Mr. Cartoon. Estevan Torrio. He got to meet Estevan Torrio, which is like he's a big fan of him.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, it was Mexicans and cholos.
It's Esteban Oriol.
Yeah, Oriel. Yeah,
Steven Oriole. Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then we took him to I took him to a Dodgers game. That was really really cool. And you had your first Dodgers
First
game.
one last night.
Yeah.
Dude. That was really sick. It was a lot of fun. Dodger dogs are fucking terrible. I don't know
No,
what
yeah,
everyone
they're not.
Keeps like hyping up.
yeah,
They're not good, dude.
They're not the best.
I'm sorry. It was real. I was a little upset. I got two of them. I was like, oh, it's gonna be sick.
got
And
two of
I
'em?
was. I fucking name, man. I've heard all this good
The
shit about them.
sliders are the best.
Wait. What kind did you get though?
Just the regular. Like
Regular
I
ones?
had to see what
Really?
I had.
Regular
To, it's hey man, it's what everyone talks about. Hey, Dodger dog.
They're normally pretty good. That's crazy.
It's
You gotta
trash, just like the
Really?
baseball team.
Wow.
I think there's some bias. There's some regional bias happening here.
Well, I mean, you're.
I texted my dad. I
were
was like,
you-
I'm at the Dodgers game, and he just goes, "Go Mets."
Oh.
Whoa!
Wait, you're a Mets fan? I thought you'd be like
No,
a
we're-
Giants fan.
Yeah, exactly. My dad's two favorite teams are the Giants and anyone playing the Dodgers.
Yeah, then you win like a Dodger dog. It doesn't even matter what's in it.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yo, but the nachos were like totally artificial and delicious. It was
you ever go to
best.
the
Their
Giants
orange,
games?
It was good. Yeah, always.
Oh, okay.
So many Giants games. The Giants is still like my favorite baseball or sporting experience.
Yeah, the
Like
stadium's
taking the
pretty amazing.
Caltrain straight to the stadium,
really
like
cool.
walking right there.
Doing
It's
the
all
slide?
like,
Yeah.
dude, that's like one of the best experiences in baseball for sure.
My dad in high school, he had a Bronco. Hard top was Dodger white, and then the body was Dodger blue, and then he had a license plate that said "Go Dodgers, fuck the Giants," and he would drive that everywhere in Northern California.
Didn't give a shit.
In the Bay Area, just drive. People would throw shit at
Dodger
it.
Frank.
Oh yeah, we would go to the games, and like he'd get threatened. It was all tons of fun.
No, I was a Dodger fan last night, dog. Believe that.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Hey, your dad had a Bronco in the '90s.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, was that like a popular vehicle in the '90s?
Well, he was also a big OJ fan. He was like, I loved what he did. Yeah.
I had a couple friends with like older brothers that actually both drove Broncos. So I think they probably
The
ran a lot
Bronco's a
more.
good
Yeah.
car. It's a cool. It was a solid.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like the Bronco, I'm like, was it really a solid car?
Yeah, it was a pretty good car back
Because
then.
nobody's still driving it.
No, I
Well,
think
now they have the new one.
yeah, they have the new one.
Yeah, I think
it's
it's
got
kinda
full
badass.
It's
electric.
like an FJ Cruiser though.
Yeah, it looks
that's cool.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess. It's a
Were you
car.
never a big truck guy?
No, I mean trucks are cool and they're like done right. Yeah, I mean the Bronco was. I mean, you listen. I've been in Broncos and they're fun. They're almost like Jeeps.
like a
almost
boat,
little bit. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can't do too much off roading, but you can get away from like cops.
Yeah, if you try.
Do they have like full like Bronco resorts like up in Utah where you go and like you could take your Bronco or like rent a Bronco and like go off roading and shit, and they give you like a hat, all that kind of shit. I have an old coworker who went. He took his Bronco up there and like was stoked
Have you gone shooting yet in Texas?
At what?
In
on 6th Street.
no, I was gonna say something terrible. All right, have you ever been shooting?
Yeah, I've been shooting.
Oh, okay. Over there, you can like get a fucking minigun for like $250 for the half an hour. It's
I
crazy.
think the ammo is the most expensive.
The
part,
ammo
'cause
is the
it
most
fucking
expensive
shoots so
part.
many rounds.
Well, like a shooting range, you just like you just
No,
go
no,
run
no,
in
no,
Someone's
no,
backyard.
No, you just go from town to town. But no, it is. No, it is at the gun range. Yeah, and it's just like
Things like cut down trees, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A
crazy, dude.
minigun. I'm
Like,
like,
yeah.
what? You could just have
yeah,
that?
yeah. They also have explosive. I went shooting. The first time I ever went shooting was in Texas, and they had explosive rounds. And that was
Like you shot shit that blew up, or the rounds themselves.
you shot
like,
stuff that blew up.
Yeah, sick.
and it was fucking tight.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, Texas is ready for war.
Yeah, but really doesn't matter against who though. You know what I mean? Like
No, they know who. I know what they're talking about. They want abortion for white women, and they want to build that wall. You know, they're trying to get somebody in particular.
Oh my god! You know what? It was really really funny because I remember. So we were in Mitzi's bar, and there was a guy standing at the bar, and so they let people come in to drink, and then they kick everyone out. And the guy was drinking, and then he just pukes all over the bar.
This wasn't you?
No. It was just some guy, right? and they clean him up and they kick him out. And one of the guys, like clearly from Texas, and he goes, "Well, that's just that's it is what it is. Some people can't handle their liquor. People from San Francisco." And he like pointed at the guy, and I was just like, "Holy shit!"
I mean, you know what? I'll say this, Texas. You're right. Some people can't handle their liquor, but you guys can't handle your drugs. And San Francisco can handle their drugs.
Yeah, they can.
That's right. Poppers, acid, ecstasy. That's what you go to San Francisco for. You go to Texas to shoot minorities and drink alcohol.
Mm-hmm. And those
The
burgers.
end.
The El Camino.
Oh, and go see comedy at Rogan's New
Yeah,
Club.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
where you go.
Those burgers we had at El Camino were
Oh my
the
God!
best.
I mean, just the best meat is down there. It's crazy. Like
It-
the Midwest and Austin, Texas have like the best meat.
Well, when you said this is the best place for burgers, I didn't believe you because we were at a bar. It was just a dingy.
It looked like some like From Dusk Till Dawn, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, it
shit,
looked like
yeah.
a punk bar. That's what. And then you go there, and everyone's in the back, and everyone's just slugging pounds of meat. It literally looked like the guy was just socking it with his fists.
Yeah.
And then they make you like the best burger you've ever had in your life.
Yeah, the guy looks like the lead singer of like Offspring in like '93.
Yeah.
Like tall, lanky, and white. You know what I mean? You're like, this guy. All right, I think I saw this guy at a punk concert at MXPX.
And my dumbass gave away my leftovers, and I remember just being like, I should have just like hours later, I was like, I should have fucking.
What was
kept it.
great? Two comics did Eat Your Burgers.
Two comics
Yeah,
did
I think
Eat
it was
My Burgers.
Digits and Josh Means both had
Yeah.
yours and Pat Barker's
And
extra burgers. Leftover
Digits
burgers.
of all people murdered so hard in Austin. He does
Comedically.
Yeah, comedically.
Comedically, we gotta say that. Yeah. Everything can be taken out of context, Frank. Come on now. There's AI out there. There's editing.
Someone,
Digits murdered out there, and on tonight's news.
yeah, so they did not
His
like
biggest
him
credit.
at all. They hated him the second he came out.
Yeah.
Because he was so West
He had
Coast.
he had a ski mask on. I mean,
He also did have a ski
probably
mask
terrified
on.
them, really.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think they were, because it was more like they were scared. Not so much like they didn't like him. They didn't want to like him because they were like, oh, I thought he was going to rob us, and now he's
Yeah.
not. Now it's
Yeah.
like, now I can't come.
Yeah, they're like, that's the guy who's going to take all of our catalytic converters. And they're like, this is the guy. And then he won him over. It was fucking insane.
Yeah. He was really good. It was fun.
It was
It's also he confused his opponent because he's very avant-garde as far as like roast battle is concerned. So
yeah, I mean, we've had a few people like that, right, throughout history.
yeah,
Of
Jamar
roast
Neighbors,
battle,
Alex
Jamar
Hooper,
Neighbors, Alex
yeah.
Hooper.
Mainly Alex Hooper.
Yeah, Alex Hooper was the big one. I think that was very, very different. I remember that would throw a lot of people off battling him. The league has gotten a lot bigger now. It's pretty crazy.
League is big. It's worldwide. You've got 14 or 12 cities nationwide.
Yeah, Chicago, Tokyo, Barcelona now. Also London. What are the big events coming up?
Well, we do 2 league events in 2 different places here in the country. One at Rogan's Club once a month, and then the other one at Jam in the Van, which is actually this Thursday, 4/20, LA versus Chicago. So those are the big ones we do, and then obviously everybody's got their weekly events, right? Like Chicago's got a weekly, we got a weekly. Austin has like a weekly. Barcelona does like one every other 2 weeks. I think Sydney does one like twice a month. Edinburgh, Glasgow, London, Tokyo. So our whole goal is like to make like the UFC and just have guys come out to these like 2 of the big venues that we have, which is Jam in the Van over in Culver City
And
and
it
Rogan's in Austin.
blows up on the reels that you guys cut. I was watching all the traffic with Effie and
Nate Welch today.
Nate Welch. It was crazy to see the comments because it was just wild to see everyone's rationalizations.
That's the formula.
It was
the formula for social media.
I was watching people like have crazy arguments with themselves.
with themselves.
It
dude.
was so bananas.
So I don't know if I talked to JP about this, but I've said this on other podcasts, but there's a formula, especially for roast battle or just like any comedy on social media. It's you put 2 women on doing comedy, and that's already a polarizing event to any online person because online, a troll online hates any woman. Like the internet hates women, if you guys know.
Yeah,
this,
it's
right?
so weird.
They love and hate women. They promote sex workers. They also hate sex workers. It's insane. But comedically, if you put a woman on and she's telling stand-up, I learned this working at the Comedy Store, being their creative director for like during the pandemic lockdown. But every time I put on like a Jay Catapretta, Nicole Amy, Jessica Michelle Singleton, they'd be killing, right? Allura Bites. It wouldn't matter what they were saying. Every guy hated them. With roast battles like that, because it's 2 girls, doing comedy and telling jokes, and they're killing, But the guys are, like the older comedies, like, fuck these girls, they don't know what comedy is, women aren't funny. And it's never the reverse. It's never like women being like, oh, well, guys aren't funny.
No,
it's always,
never.
It's always dudes. So we had this one battle, was a half black girl against a blonde white girl. And she had this joke about, oh, you own me with that joke, half black girl, kind of like my family owned your family, kind of a thing. And then people went nuts. Black people hated the joke because it was like, oh, that's too hard. And then dudes were like, oh, women aren't funny. But then, like, freedom of speech, they were like, well, they can say that, but they're still not funny. And then the shit went
It was
viral.
crazy. Yeah, it's wild to see like
Yeah.
people argue with themselves over comedy, and yet still have these weird
Because
ideas.
they still want to say that they still want to be assholes to women. They also want to be racist. They also want to have freedom of speech. You know what I mean? So if you have all that concocted in one like reel, they lose their minds and it goes
Just can't
viral.
stop.
Yeah.
Have
So
to
what we've
interact.
learned is it's either race or a disability or a gender, right? Kind of a thing. Will equals like 1 million views. It's insane. It works every time.
Well, I still remember when we had what's her name? Danielle Perez versus Greg Roquet, and how insane that was. And I think Waka Flocka Flame was there, and I just remember looking at him in his mouth being just gaping open because he had no idea. It was like watching his brain explode.
Yeah, that show does that sometimes. You walk in there, you're just like, wait, what? Joe Urel, I mean, like, this show's nuts. That's why I'm there every week, because I learn something every week from it, because it does show me that anybody can be funny. Like, anybody. That's the big secret in comedy, that anybody can do it. I think what differentiates a professional is the consistency of like doing it all the time and then working on your craft. But anybody can be funny. Like, anybody who's filming this or looking at this, any of you guys are funny.
Yeah. And you
Everybody's
guys can check out the open mics on Sunday and Monday now, right? Now? Just Mondays at the store now?
Still Mondays for us.
Still Mondays? Remember when Sundays were a thing?
A long time ago.
A lot of fun.
It's the reason we developed the roast battle, because they got rid of the Sunday potluck.
All right. Well, that was a lot of fun, guys. I really got way too high fucking for this episode. Thank you so much, Moses, for coming and hanging out and watching me, be me. Anything you want to plug, JP?
Yeah, Punch Audible's YouTube channel. We're doing reviews every Friday. Come check them out. And then All Things Punch on Twitter, I think.
Yay. Thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go take a nap now.